Hey everybody, welcome back to the Comic Wall. It's me, the Outcast Angel, and today let's talk about issue 9 of Gasolina, subtitled Chicle, which means like gum or bubblegum. Now, first off, we finally get to see this creature that was kind of teased in issue 7. 9, I'm sorry. Issue 8. Ugh, give me a minute. And so, first off, it looks intense. It is honestly, it's just very interesting. It reminds me a lot of like the xenomorph from Alien, and uh, some people have. I know someone described this series when it was first coming out. It was like they described it as Narcos meets Alien, and so I can understand exactly because this creature, it just it reminds me so much of the xenomorph, and it's so oddly humanistic, but at the same time, it did come out of a dog, I believe, because we saw that at the end of issue 7. This one was no 5, issue 5, and so I'm a little confused by that, and I'm wondering if that maybe maybe that's why it kind of walks around on all fours, kind of the way the xenomorph does, like how in Aliens 3 the facehugger took control of a dog, or in the director's cut, it took hold of a cow, and it came out as a more anthro anthropomorphic form, I guess is the word I'm trying to say, and I'm wondering if this is the same because I mean with Quique we have the little what I call gusano in his chest, or what Arielle what Arielle called in the letters a shrimp. I don't know, but I mean it's interesting to me. Anyway, so diving right in, we see that little hole in the base of the house that we first saw in issue 5, I believe, or issue 7, and this thing has really caused some damage. And from the end of issue 8, we saw that there's some noises coming from Giga's room, and turns out this little this little monster just crawled out of the toilet. So they're gonna be having some plumbing problems soon, but it looks too big to be able to squeeze out of a toilet bowl, for one thing. I mean, I don't know how flexible or how, I guess, collapsible its skeleton is, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. But just look at this thing. It's intense. I don't see any eyes. I don't see any ears. I see a lot of sharp teeth, and um, well, humanistic hands. It has fingers. It has a thumb. So, but then we see when Giga is like face to face with it, it looks like a small dog, or yeah, it looks like a small dog, but it looks oddly human to me, and so Giga's obviously very curious. But then Randy checks in on him. He opens the door, and Giga has kind of retreated back and hidden the dog. Um, and Randy was just like checking on him. He was like, he's telling him that our company's leaving now. So if you want to come out, I think we have a deck of cards somewhere. I'll teach you. I'll teach you how to gamble. And this makes Kike happy. He's actually smiling. This is the first time I've seen him smile at all in this whole series, and so hopefully things are looking up for him. But Amalia is obviously not. Amalia's being a good mom. She's not very happy about this whole gambling teaching business here, and so Randy's like, we'll use cookies or pieces of candy. I'm sure we have some chicle around here, gum, or and Amalia's just like, no, you're not giving him chicle when he's not eating. So you can really see the mom coming out of her, and so um, Sylvia, as we saw her in last issue, she's being a little, judgmental, and she's like, "This is why you're not gonna help me, because a boy won't leave his room. Boys who stay in their rooms." And she doesn't finish that thought because Amalia's done with her shit and just kind of kicks her out of the house. And so Sylvia's kind of playing the guilt trip here. She's saying how her sister, I think it was her sister Patricia, had left her family and went to El Norte. I'm not sure where El Norte is. I haven't spent a lot of time in Mexico, to be honest. And so she's obviously depressed because Patricia in the Hispanic accent, Patricia went to El Norte, and they never heard from her again. She's saying you never see your sister again because she didn't make it where she was going. She just died, and no one bothered. No one bothered to send her body back, and so Amalia obviously feels bad about this. So she kind of offers some advice, saying sometimes shit goes wrong and there's no explanation, not a human one at least. She finishes with like, "You tell yourself whatever you need to. It's your fight." So they've obviously made up their mind that they don't want to be part of this little army that Sylvia and the rest of the women from the plantation are trying to build, because they're tired of that. They know what they're up against, and they know it's not good. So Sylvia's parting words are you may not have killed Patricia, but you're out here far away from anyone else, living like heathens, because you're ashamed and you don't deserve to live with the rest of us. Not sure why I thought you could save anybody. And obviously Amalia is really thinking about this. This hits a nerve, and she finishes with me either. She gets the last word basically. And so in the next day we see Randy, of course, sleeping in the truck because he's terrified of Quique, and so they want to talk. He and Amalia want to talk about what happened between them and Sylvia and her family. And so before Amalia starts really going off, she offers Quique to go play outside. And so he runs out, and he looks so happy. He looks like a happy little boy finally, especially after everything he's gone through, especially the little chest burster coming out of his ribs. I'm surprised that's not hurting him, or maybe I don't know. I mean, I think I would suffer pretty well with a giant hole in my chest. I mean, everyone's had a heartbreak. Anyway, so Randy and Amalia talk about this whole deal. I'm gonna move my mic a little bit, and Amalia's talking about how she felt about the way not by what Sylvia said, but the way she said it. And obviously she's very pissed because she's like the nerve of this woman. And so Randy's like, I don't feel right. I don't want to join some fucking army. I know what that gets you, but I don't want to keep letting this shit happen. This isn't something we can run from. And we have guns. Maybe we can give some to Sylvia and her people. And Amalia apparently was thinking the same thing. And they're just the cutest. I mean, look at this panel here. They're so cute. Anyway, so in the next page we see that they're loading up their guns, and I guess they're not really looking to sell to I forgot his name, to that one guy that they're hoping to deal with, but I don't know. Maybe we see more of that later. And then Quique comes in and he's like, Can I get a dog?" And so obviously he's trying to kind of inch in that little conversation of wanting a dog because of that little perrito, as he calls it, that crawled out of the toilet. So I don't know. This is gonna be interesting, and I'm very excited to see where this is going in the future issues. And so and Randy, god damn it, Randy responds with, "What if we just got a TV instead?" And he obviously wants a dog, but of course they're being parents and they're just like sarcastically dodging the question. And then we see Quique here, throwing his pieces of candy or his chicle to the dog under the house. So the next day, or later that day, I'm not sure. We see this old woman who's taking care of Graciela, the little girl that I believe to be Amalia's daughter, and I can't remember her name. I really can't remember her name, but she sees if you remember last issue, she met up with this old man talking about how she had seen all these statues of La Querida all over her neighborhood. We see her, and she sees that this old man's dogs are loose in the streets, and so she gathers them up, and turns out that she tries to take him back to his house, and all the lights are off. She lets herself in, and it's just dark. But turns out this old man is just laying on the floor, and he's unresponsive. And so she checks him out, and I guess he's dead because she looks pretty terrified, and she just says viejo, which means like old or old man, and all of a sudden a beetle just flops down onto this old man's chest, and so she freaks out. She's like, it's just a beetle, just a beetle. Then she looks up, and they're all over the ceiling, and it's terrifying, because where did they all come from, and more importantly, why are they there? So she freaks out, she leaves, and they're chasing after her. First off, she manages to close the door as she gets out, and kills one even. But it's just like, what? I don't know. These bugs remind me of the scarabs from The Mummy, the original 1998 one or 1999, the one with Brendan Fraser. The little the little scarabs would swarm on certain people, and they would just devour it like a bunch of landfallen piranhas or something. And so I wonder if they have that same capability. So I don't know. We'll see more of that as we go. And so the next scene, we see Randy, Amalia, and Quique driving in their truck, and they spot Sylvia's van that's been run off the road. And so Amalia gets out and goes to check her out, and she's dead. She's dead in the driver's seat, and turns out it was the Beatles, because it was the Beatles. It was the weevils or whatever beetles that are crawling around Veracruz. And so she calls Randy over, and she's telling him we should bury her, and he's obviously like, we can't do that. But she feels bad because of what she said about her, of what Sylvia said about her sister Patricia, that no one brought her body back to bury her. And so Randy's like, we can't, we just can't do that. And so Malia's trying to talk him into it, but he says they can't. No, Mal, we need to sterilize this. We need to make sure that there's nothing else in this car that can hurt anyone else first. But then Quique walks over, and he's saying, I'm really hungry, and he's holding his stomach, and obviously Malia and Randy are like, he's not eating, but he needs to eat. And so the next time we see them, Quique is hunched over Sylvia's body, which is laying on the floor, and the little gusano is just poking. First off, it ripped through his shirt again, and it's eating off of Sylvia and the beetles off of her body. And so that's terrifying and just overall unsettling to me. And even Randy looks disgusted and says, we're going to burn in hell. So anyway, while they're gone, this American looking guy we saw briefly in issue 8, he's in front of their house, and he and a whole bunch of these other mercenaries search the house, and they're obviously not there, so they were looking for them, and they couldn't find the guns either. So one of the mercenaries asks the head guy, "It doesn't look like they packed up for anything. Want us to wait?" And I guess the captain says, "Burn it." So this sucks. In the next scene, we see this. Oh, her name's Lulu, or this is what Graciela calls her, because we see Graciela in her room, and I guess Lulu comes rushing in saying, Graciela, I need you to pack a bag now. Just pack some clothes, some underwear, your inhaler, because obviously they need to go. But then Graciela points this out. She says, Lulu, what happened to your hair? And she has this streak of white. Obviously, she got terrified because it turned her hair white. And I've never understood how that works, but it's some shit, you know? So obviously, she was terrified. Now we're back with these mercenaries, and they've set Amalia and Randy's house on fire. And as the fire rages, the dog, or the creature that Quique was having as a pet, comes out on fire, and this obviously unsettles the mercenary, because it runs runs to him, he pulls out his gun and shoots it, and after he kills it, he takes a knife and picks it up with you see it right here, and all we see from this guy is he says, "We need to talk to Martinez." Who is Martinez? Who is this other guy? And we're just getting a whole bunch of new people, and I'm sad because Sean promised us dogs, and he gave us dogs, but he killed the most interesting dog. So it's not even a dog. I don't know what it is, but I'm calling it a dog. So, damn you, Sean. But I still love you. Anyway, now we see Randy riding in the back of the truck, and Amalia is saying, "Are we that this what we really want to do?" And Randy finishes the issue with, "I'm tired of the way we've been living. We start over again here, and yeah, maybe we die here too." So I think they've actually moved out of Veracruz, because they obviously wanted to leave, and they were already wanting to leave. But with that comment, I think they've finally moved out into the place or into the city, that the town or village that they want to hide out from all of this. And so that's the end of this issue. And interestingly enough, I was the only letter printed in this issue. And so I start with, "Hey, Gasolina team. Uh-oh, that's not good. Looks like Randy and Amalia should have skipped town sooner. So I'm really itching to find out what exactly Randy and Amalia did before they came to Veracruz." What? No, Sean. Arielle. Arielle responds with, "You and me both, Andy." And Sean responds with, "Definitely getting to that in an upcoming issue that was just recently drawn." So hopefully next issue. Hopefully not like 3 issues from now, but I mean, we'll see from here. And so I continue with selling guns, connections, not to mention all the badassery going on since issue 1. It's killing me. And I feel bad for poor Quique. It's crazy to see the gusano affecting his behavior so much. Will we be seeing more of how it affects him physically? Or is it just something that will be there throughout the series? And so Arielle responds with, "No matter what, living with a shrimp," this is where she says shrimp, "inside your chest that eats things can't be good for you in the long run, mentally or physically. Between that and his poor dead monster dog, Quique will definitely need some counseling in the future." And Sean finishes with, "The worst is yet to come for Quique, unfortunately." And so I finished the letter with, "I'm way too anxious to see what happens next issue. I hope y'all take pleasure in seeing me suffer. but always worth it to pick up another issue. And so, yeah, that's the end of this issue. And so I'm out, Cease. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked it. And if you did, drop a like, show the love, hit that subscribe button to get more of my videos, ring the bell to get notifications of when I post new videos, so that way you guys stay updated and don't miss out. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.